Hey guys, Courtney here with Southern Owls. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be designing my fall kit, the first one of the season. So if you love this design and you want to design the exact same thing, I have these kits available on my website, theSouthernOwls.com. So come check this out. My kits come with the sign, the work form. It comes with 2 rolls of mesh. I already pre-cut it to save some time for YouTube. It's going to come with some pre-cut ribbon for your bow and pre-cut ribbon tails. I also included all of the little things that you need too. Pipe cleaners, wire for hanging, and your cable tie. So this is a very, very easy step-by-step tutorial. If you are new to wreath making, welcome in. Or if you are seasoned and you just love this design, I'm so glad you're here. Sorry, I was trying to lower this with ease. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Let's get to designing. Please forgive me. My ring light went kapootsy. So if the lighting's not the best, there's one ordered from Amazon. It's on its way. So stay tuned for some better lighting. Okay, so what I like to do first is I'm going to take this is called a raised work form. I'm going to cut that tag off, and I kind of just like to get all of my tinsels nice and prepared and ready for the design. Making sure that all of them look good. So there is that. And we're going to start off with our mesh. So we're going to build up our base. I feel like this isn't the best lighting where it's at. Okay, so as you can see, your mesh kind of wants to naturally roll in on itself, and we're going to use that to our advantage. So I like to flip my mesh out, tuck it under about 1 inch or 2, pinch the middle, and walk my fingers over to the other side while I'm staying in the middle. And I want to make sure that I do that on the other side. This mesh is all cut at 20 inches. So you're going to cut the whole entire row, both rolls, times 2 at 20 inches. And then we're going to use the ruffle method, and we're going to start adding these into our base. Just like that. So we're going to use these tinsels as like our pipe cleaners to secure our mesh. So right where we were holding that is where you want that to be nice and secure. So once again, 20-inch cuts. This is 10-inch deco mesh that we started with. You will get it in the kit. So we're going to flip that out, tuck it under about 1 inch or 2, pinch the middle, walk your fingers over to the other side, making sure that other side is tucked in about 1 inch or 2. We're going to go right next door. So we started with the chocolate, and we're going to put the tan right next door, right into that next twisty side. So as you can see, I'm not only doing opposite color, I'm also doing opposite direction. So this one was up and down, and this one is going side to side. And we're going to repeat that process the whole way around. Opposite color, opposite direction, doing our ruffle method. And if this hurts your hands, you can always use a tool to help you out. You can use chip clips, or there's a hardworking mom has this really cool device that ruffles up your mesh for you. So there's some good tools out there for you to use if your hands don't work so well. All right, so we're just ruffling that on. We're just building up the foundation. So the mesh is the base. The mesh is going to hide all of the mechanics of your design, and it's also going to give you the ability to add in stuff on top of the mesh. So this is going to make your wreath really nice and fluffy, really big and full. I used to say thick and juicy. I haven't said that in a while. Okay, so we're just putting this in, and we want to make sure when you're laying it into those twisty ties that you are getting it really nice and tight. Those twisty ties want to be super, super tight because we want to make sure that our mesh isn't going to slip out of our wreaths later on. So just keep on going. Whoop, almost lost a piece. Just keep on going all the way around, alternating colors, alternating directions. And we got the top all nice and full. So now we're going to move on to the bottom. So we have 10 twisty ties on the bottom. And guess what, my friends? We're going to do the exact same thing. Just flip that mesh onto your table, tuck it under about an inch or two, find the middle, give it a pinch, walk your fingers over to the other side, staying in the middle as best as you can. And then you're going to lay this one into that bottom piece and give those twisty ties a few good twists. Now, my friends, on the bottom, I don't really worry about what direction my mesh is going in. I just kind of do it all side to side. Because once we layer this mesh in, it's going to naturally kind of just fill in any of those holes that you're worried about. So this is the first layer. I like to add my mesh in one layer at a time. So I do one layer and then I'll go back around and do the next layer. But if you like to do it all at the same time, that is totally fine as well. These are just guidelines that you can take and then put your own twist on it. Grab these mesh that are all the way over here. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Friday. Welcome if you're new here. If you're loving my YouTube channel, I would love for you to stay a while. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. If you want to become an official owlette, if you're loving these wreath kits, or you just want to know what's going on in my Southern Owl business life, you can go on over to my website, which is theSouthernOwls.com, and you can subscribe to be on my email list. So you'll be the first ones to know when a kit drops, or if I'm doing a promotional thing with another company or anything like that. I always like to do a weekly email just to let y'all know what I've been up to and what's going on in Southern Owl's business life. I promise I won't spam you. I promise. Okay, we are doing so good, guys. Just layering in all of this mesh, doing that ruffle method, making sure that we are really getting those ties really nice and tight onto our base. Guys, if you're new, I am from Houston, Texas, and let me tell you, summer is here. It is so hot, so if you see my mesh moving around, it's because I have a fan in my barn. Yes, I cracked in my barn. So don't think it's a ghost. It's just the fan blowing on me because it is. It is hot. Okay, so we have the first round of mesh onto our wreath. And now we're going to go starting right back up at the top and add in our second layer of mesh. Still doing that ruffle method that I taught you earlier. But now we're doing opposite color, opposite direction. So this one you can see we did side to side. So this one is going to go up and down. The reason why I like to do my mesh this way is because it makes a full circle. And so we're just really getting that double layer effect going. And we're making sure that you cannot see that wire base that we're working on. Same thing. That one was up and down. So this one's going to go side to side. Twist, twist, twist. If you would like to see Southern Owls make more wreath kits, let me know in the comments and let me know what themes y'all are looking for. Of course, since we are moving on into the year, I will be doing more fall and Christmas kits. That's right, Christmas is about to drop. I have 2 Halloween kits in stock, and those are going to be, that's it for the year. So those are the only 2 Halloween kits I'll be dropping with my own personal company. Now, maybe my affiliates, I might do some other fun Halloween stuff, but me personally, those are the only 2 kits that I'm going to have available. Okay, so we're double layering that mesh. We're almost done with the top. Y'all are doing fantastic. I really chose a nice neutral base for this fall design so that orange will pop off of this brown and tan color really, really nice. I love a good pumpkin design. So I'm really excited to kind of start, dipping my toes into fall. I wish Texas would have a little bit cooler weather, but we are not going to see that until September or October if we're lucky. We are down for the count when it comes to summertime. Okay, so we got that top done, and now we're going to go back around the bottom. Same thing, just doing that ruffle method, and we're going to do every other color, right? So we started off with the dark brown. We're going to put that tan right in there and give it a few good twists. Guys, also, I don't know if you've heard, but I have started a design group called the Double Troublemakers. I would love for y'all to come and join the community and design with me and my friends. We're teaching business and design over there. We've also teamed up with some of our friends. So me and Lindsay with Tarnation Creations, we're the designers and business and designing wreaths and centerpieces and all kinds of fun ideas. And then we've also teamed up with our friends at Creek Road, and they are our official suppliers. So all of the supplies that we're using within the group are from Creek Road. And last but not least, we have joined forces with our friend Nicole with Looking Glass Wreaths, and she is designing all of our wreath attachments for the group. So we have a great little team going for us over in the Double Troublemakers group. It is a monthly subscription group, but once you are joined in, you get weekly tutorials, and you also get 20% off all 4 of our companies. So if you love my wreath kits, you can join the group and you get 20% off of my wreaths and my kits. You get 20% off Creek Road supplies, 20% off Nicole's wreath attachments, and of course 20% off Lindsay's designs as well. So if you're thinking about it, if you want some more information, just reach out and I'll be happy to share with you some more information, answer all your questions that you have. I'm so excited to expand my small business just a little bit more, one step closer to me doing this full time instead of part time. Right? This is, I feel like the last little hoorah. So you want to see me? If you want to see more of me, I would love for you to come and join the design group, join the community. We got some awesome people already signed up and over there. Okay, we're on our last piece of mesh. So as you can see, this wreath is so thick, full, beautiful, lush. Such a great base to put this orange sign on, right? So this sign is really just going to pop. So this is going to be the next step, is we're going to grab your sign. And what I like to do is just kind of move these tinsels out of the way of our sign. In your kit, you are going to have some pipe cleaners, and this sign already has a pre-made hole. So you're going to run that pipe cleaner through that hole, and twist it around itself just a few times. We're going to do the same thing down on the bottom. If you want to punch more holes in it, you can, but two's been pretty good so far from me. Twist, 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 just like that. And then we're going to add our sign in. I'm thinking I want the tan. Yes, I love that. The tan at the top and the sides. So what we're going to do next is we're going to thread that pipe cleaner through our mesh, not around it, right through that mesh. I always like to put my hand on the opposite side underneath the wreath so I can really find that pipe cleaner, guide it through, and then we're going to try to make contact with that work form, right? So wherever you can wrap that pipe cleaner around your form a few times. Perfect. Do one more. I need a camera on the back side, right? On the underneath side. Same thing. I'll try to hold it up this time. Go through the mesh, not around it, because we want that sign to set on top of the mesh and not sink down into our design. All right, so pick it up, make contact with that form. I'm just going to wrap, and I'm going to use that bar also to my advantage on the work form and just wrap it around there. So now our sign is nice and secure. So next we're going to move on to the bow. So grab this roll of ribbon, your pipe cleaner and cable tie, and a pair of scissors. So we're going to do a nice bow with some long tails. I'm going to put mine on the bottom. If you would like to put your bow somewhere else, that is totally, totally fine. So what I'm going to do is a hand bow, but if you also, if you want to use your bow maker, that's totally fine. You see, I'm glistening because I'm sweating, guys. It's fine. Okay, 8 inches. Give it a pinch, slide your hands down. We're going to do 5-inch loops, so we're going to measure at the 10. Bring those together, times 2. And we're going to pull that tail down to this side. It's a little long. I'm going to give y'all a couple extra inches just in case you need them. And then we're going to cut off at the 8-inch. So you should have 2 8-inch tails and 2 5-inch loops. We're going to grab the pumpkin ribbon next, and we're going to do that same pattern. Oh, is this directional? Okay, let me show y'all my trick. Okay. We're going to cut this at 8 inches. I'm going to pinch it and lay it into my thumb at a diagonal. Okay. And then we're going to pinch this and just put it right on top and start making our loops. So 10 inches to make that 5-inch loop. Excuse me, ribbon. I need you to cooperate with me. Thank you. Okay. Once again, 10. Oh my gosh. This ribbon doesn't like me today. Okay. And then guess what? Now this is facing the right direction. And we're going to cut off at the 8. Okay, we're gonna grab the dark brown, and we're gonna do 8-inch tail again. So measure at the 8 and put it right on top. And then we're gonna shrink our loops down to 4.5. So measure at the 9, 2 4.5-inch loops, and an 8-inch tail. Guess what? We are gonna leave the orange for the center. I thought that orange would look really nice and pop and go with the sign. Same thing, we're going to measure 8 inches, lay it right down in the middle, then 9 to do 2 4.5-inch tails. Oh my gosh, I love this burnt orange. And then we're going to flip that ribbon around our thumb for that cute little center moment. And then we're going to cut at the 8 for that 8-inch tail. We're going to grab our cable tie, wrap it around where we were holding it, thread it through. Not all the way, because we want to make sure that we have enough room for that pipe cleaner. Now we're going to get it nice and snug, not too tight, because you don't want it to pinch your fabric of your ribbon. And then I always like to give this a couple twists, 1, 2, just so that pipe cleaner is not going to go anywhere. Let's add this into our wreath, and then we will dovetail. So like I said before, I'm going to put mine right down here at the bottom. So once again, I'm going to put my hand underneath my wreath, and we're going to thread through that pipe cleaner. And I'm going to use my hand as a guide to find that pipe cleaner and thread it through. We're going to do it times 2. And I like to go around that tinsel tie. So I'll go 1 through the left side and then 1 through the right side of that tinsel. Okay, we're going to get it around that work form again. So find the frame and you're going to twist it on. Not too tight, but tight enough, because you don't want to like make it go down and sink down into your wreath if you pull too tight. And now we can fluff out this beautiful bow that we just created. And we got to dovetail all of, oh my gosh, I love her. Yes. Okay, now we got to dovetail. So to dovetail, you're just going to fold your ribbon in half and cut up at an angle. I'm going to do the 1.5-inch ribbon a little bit shorter so we can see the 2.5-inch ribbon underneath, kind of just give it a little bit of a layers so it doesn't seem so bulky down here at the bottom. Same thing with that 2.5-inch, you're just going to fold it in half and cut up at an angle. And since we are working with this directional pumpkin ribbon, we're going to just have to be mindful of how we're putting the pumpkins in our wreath. Doesn't make it any harder, we just have to be a little bit more mindful of what we're doing. I'm going to do this one just a little bit shorter. There we go. Gorgeous. Ooh, I love that. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted, that orange to pop. I love that. Okay, so now we have all of these ribbon tails. They are not pre-cut. So you're going to need to grab some and dovetail. You can either do it individually, or if you have really good scissors like me, you can fold a few at a time in half and cut up at an angle. Guys, these are my favorite scissors. They're from creekroad.net. They are amazing scissors, super sharp. I might have a few. I have a backup to my backups, because you just never know when you're going to need a good pair of scissors. Also, if you're doing multiples, just make sure that they all are lined up at the top before you start cutting, or else your dovetails are going to be a little off. All right, we're going to grab the plaid. I thought this plaid was so cute with the sign, right? I love a good plaid for fall. Fold in half, cut up at an angle. Guys, also shameless plug about Creek Road. If you ever do decide to go shop with Creek Road, you can always use my code OWL10, I was about to spell L wrong, OWL10, and you'll get 10% off your entire order. So even if you just go and snag a pair of scissors, you can do that and still use my code. All purchases qualify for my code. Okay, so the burnt orange is going to go on top of the plaid. I'm kind of just throwing all of that off the side. Don't worry. We will sweep up after this tutorial and make my room look pretty again. If you're not loving the angled dovetail, you can always just do a swift angle up motion and do a cute little angle cut as well. It just kind of makes the ribbon look more clean to me, to have it with a finished in instead of just a blunt straight across line. Gives it a little bit of character, if you will. Okay, and now we're on to, isn't this pumpkin ribbon fabulous? It's got a little touch of glitter, but not too much. To give it like a nice little accent of gold flake. And then this one's gonna go with our brown. And if you can tell, you're gonna have one extra pumpkin and brown versus the plaid and burnt orange. Because since we covered up that one twisty tie with our beautiful bow, we need one less ribbon tail. Okay. So now we're going to pull our wreath down closer to us, and since we have more of the pumpkin and brown, that is what we're going to start off with. So we're going to take one pumpkin and one brown, and we're just going to lay it right down flat on our table, and we're going to layer this brown right on top in the middle of our pumpkin. We're going to find the middle of our ribbon. You can either do that by folding it in half, or you can just eyeball it, pinch it in your fingers, and right next to your bow, you are going to add in this ribbon tail. Make sure, remember I said, guys, we're using directional ribbon. So you want to make sure that your pumpkins aren't going to be upside down. So you're going to have to pay attention just a little bit more with the directional ribbon while you're adding it in. And I like to just kind of, once it's secured into those twisty ties, just kind of fan it out so you can see all of the layers of our ribbon. So we're going right above it, right next door, and we're going to do one plaid, one burnt orange. We're going to do the same exact thing. Just lay it on your table, stack them on top of each other, find the middle, give it a pinch, and then put it right into that next twisty tie and twist it right in. Twist, twist. Make sure it's nice and secure in there. And then once it's nice and tight, that is when I just take my ribbon and just start arching it a little bit and fanning it out. So we can see all of the pretty ribbon. The great thing about using wired ribbon is that you can form it as you go along, right? You can bend it and mold it how you want it to be on your design. So now you got the hang of it. We're just doing the same exact thing. We're going back to the pumpkins with the chocolate brown on top, twisting it in, and then fanning out these beautiful ribbons. Up to the top, we're on to plaid and the burnt orange. Right in there, twisty twist. Once it's secure, then you can fan them out. I like the pumpkin ribbon the best, so I'm always going to kind of make sure that that pumpkin ribbon is setting on top of the plaid. And guess what, guys? Remember, watch where your sign pumpkin. So make sure that the pumpkins are facing the right direction as we keep on moving along, okay? That was one of my learning things when I first started wreath making. I really wouldn't pay attention, and then I would hang it up on the door, look at it, and I'm like, well, gee willikers, Batman, that pumpkin is now upside down. So now I need to take that out, redo that. not the end of the world, but just kind of be mindful as we're going around. Look at the sign and how we're spinning it, and just make sure that that pumpkin is facing the right direction. Easy to change, but sometimes you feel like a goober. You're like, oh gosh. All right, once again, I like the pumpkin ribbon the best, so I'm just gonna layer that on top. If you like the plaid butter, you can layer the plaid on top. Okay, we got our last one going in right by the bow. Really, really, oh, beautiful, beautiful. This ribbon's like perfect. Okay, guess what, guys? We're done with the top. We're gonna do the exact same thing to the bottom. Just grab one, whichever one you want to start with, layer them, pinch the middle, and then put it right into a twisty tie. Now, here's the difference. On the bottom, I just simply take them and make them into a V. I don't really mind, I don't worry about spreading out my tails on the bottom. Now, I do still make sure my pumpkins are somewhat facing the right direction, but I just leave them in a V. Now that is up to you. If you want to fan these out on the bottom as well, you are more than welcome to. We're just doing that same exact pattern every other color, every other ribbon pattern, all the way around. Making sure I'm looking at my sign as I go. So my pumpkins, I was about to say my popcorn. So my pumpkins aren't upside down. I hope y'all enjoyed this kit. I dropped a ribbon tail I see on the floor over here. Did y'all see that on camera? Was someone yelling at me on this tutorial? Courtney, you dropped one. You dropped one. Let me pick that up after this one. Okay. I must have just dropped it when I was dovetailing them all. That's okay. All right, let me dovetail that one and then get it in. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's boop. I'm lighting more towards it. Oh, y'all, that is so gorge. What do you think about this design? I think she turned out beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I think we matched the sign pretty perfectly. I love her. I love her. Guys, if you're interested in this kit, you can find it on my website, which is thesouthernowls.com. If you're not vibing with this kit, but you just want to go check out what else I have, guess what? You can do it at the same exact place. I will tag where you can purchase my kits in the description of this video. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of my owlets. I'm so thankful for y'all, and I cannot wait to craft with y'all again soon. Bye, everyone.